إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونتوب إليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله سبحانه وخير هدي رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. We begin with the best of beginnings, the exalting of Allah Azza wa Jalla is mentioned, praising Him, thanking Him, subhanahu, asking Him for guidance, mercy, forgiveness, sustenance and protection, asking Him Jalla wa Ala that He also protect us from our capacity to sin as well as the consequences for when we do so. We bear witness that there is no God except for Allah Azza wa Jal, who is one without partners, and that all worship is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there should be no partners, no associations at all in worship with Him or in addition to Him subhanahu. And that the final prophet and messenger for all of humanity's guidance, the one that should be modeled in everything of beliefs, worship and lifestyle, is the best of them all, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, whom Allah Jalla wa Ala gave us 23 years of His precious life and prophethood, teaching us, demonstrating for us in the most complete and beautiful way all that we need to model for success in this life as well as the next. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to bestow upon him the best of all that he has of goodness and of mercy and peace and blessings, and upon his beautiful family and companions and everyone who emulates him until the day of judgment. Allahumma ameen. Brothers and sisters, it is the season of Hajj, that great time of year when people from throughout this most beautiful earth, in all of its different regions, from every continent, from the mountains, from the valleys, from the forests and jungles to the coastlines, from every single background, that they are answering that call of visiting Allah Azza wa Jal's first house on earth, exclusively built and devoted to His worship subhanahu. People are going, making that call, labbaik Allahumma labbaik. I am responding to your call, O Allah, I am responding to your call. And this fifth pillar of Islam, of Hajj, it is in and of itself a life lesson in so many different ways. If only those who are making Hajj as well as those who are not making Hajj were to contemplate and reflect on what Allah Rabbul Alameen would have us learn and benefit with regards to the Hajj. And today, inshallah Azza wa Jal, we're going to focus on just two simple lessons, inshallah. One in each of the two khutbahs. The first, it deals with departure. Let's be honest, brothers and sisters, and understand that most of us, we are comfortable with the familiarity that we have in our daily lives, regardless of how mundane or spectacular it may be. We have become accustomed to waking up, seeing the normal faces of who it is that's within our lives, of our home, of whatever that circle, that environment. But with Hajj, one of the things that we come to understand is that we actually break from all of that. A person prepares themselves to leave all of that. It is a major change, a major disruption in the person's routine. And when we think back, especially as travel was much more dangerous, not to say that it's not dangerous now, but it was even more dangerous in the past. When a person prepared for Hajj, they literally prepared for a one-way journey. There wasn't the expectation that they were going to make it back. If they made it back, that was an extra added bonus from Allah Azza wa Jal, the most merciful. A departure that you're not going to continue to see the faces of your family and friends, of your employees or of your co-workers, of your neighbors, of people that you love and those that you like less than that. As well as the comforts of what you become so normal with, of what you're going to eat and drink, and the bed that you have, and climate control, and all of those good things. And in that there is a lesson for us, brothers and sisters. That the Hajj is a miniature departure that should remind us of the eternal journey that is a one-way trip out of this life into the next. Because when you die, and we're all going to have to die, that's it. Everything changes. All that we have known and loved and become familiar with and comfortable with, it ends. And here we have this beautiful hadith that is collected in so many books of hadith. And Shaykh al-Albani rahmatullahi alayhi collects it in his silsilat al-sahiha and declares it to be hasanun li ghayrihi. That the sum total collection of all the different chains by which this hadith has been narrated, it is good. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, "Atani Jibreel alayhi salam, فقال يا محمد عش ما شئت فإنك ميت." وَأَحْبِبْ مَنْ شِئْتَ فَإِنَّكَ مُفَارِقُ وَأَعْمَلْ مَا شِئْتَ فَإِنَّكَ مَجْزِيٌّ بِهِ. And then Jibreel alayhi salam said, وَاعْلَمْ إِنَّ شَرَفَ الْمُؤْمِنِ قِيَامُهُ بِاللَّيْلِ وَعِزُّهُ إِسْتِغْنَاؤُهُ عَنِ النَّاسِ. The archangel, the chieftain of the angels, Gabriel, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, he came and visited me and he said, "Oh Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam," he said, "live as long as you want and as you like, but know that you're going to certainly have to die." No matter how long you live, brothers and sisters, no matter what lifestyle you choose, know that it's going to come to an end. Be certain about it. And death is something that, regardless of what people believe or don't believe, regardless of everything, we see everybody dying. And when this is being told to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he is our role model, this is certainly something for us to pay attention to take heed. And in this we have, actually in every one of these pieces of morsels of advice, there's so much that can be said. But it's all tied into what's coming. And then he tells the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and love whomsoever and whatsoever you want, but know that you're going to be separated. SubhanAllah. That was true for the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, and it's going to certainly be true for everyone else, because we are all certainly less than him sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. We're going to leave the people that we love, and we're going to leave the lifestyles that we are so deeply entrenched in. We're going to leave our beautiful houses, our comfortable homes, the climate control, the food, the drink, the nice cars, mashallah, the name brand clothing. When you look at that pilgrim, what are they wearing? The men are wearing 2 sheets. And those 2 sheets are really, as many a scholar have said, they're really a kafan. They are really a shroud. Because we know that if and when a person who is on their journey and they die in that state that they are shrouded in, those 2 sheets that they have. That person is leaving behind all of these things and they are struggling and suffering. There is hardship. Even today, despite us having, mashallah, airplanes and who knows what a wonderful technology that Allah Azza wa Jal has endowed humanity with, the ability to learn and to design and to produce, to manufacture. That 12-hour journey, 15-hour journey for some folks, depending on where they're coming from, it is still arduous at least, and it could be torturesome for some. That person who leaves for Hajj, they are leaving behind what they have loved and what they have become so comfortable with of a lifestyle. And then the Prophet ﷺ was told, do what you want, because you're going to be rewarded accordingly. So both of those 2 previous things are tied into this third. Understand, brothers and sisters, that our lifestyles, if they are good according to Allah Azza wa Jal, and the standard for good with Allah Azza wa Jal is the guidance of the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam, his sunnah, then know that alhamdulillah we have nothing but good to anticipate. Because our beliefs with regards to Allah Jalla wa Ala are always supposed to be positive, full of hope. But if we know that on the other hand, we've made other things a priority, and the guidance of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is something that is a factor of convenience for us, then it's time for us to wake up before it's too late. Because in the same way for that person who is making Hajj, and their intention is sincerely for Allah Azza wa Jalla, and they are going to perform the Hajj as the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam said, خُذُوا عَنِّي مَنَاسِكَكُمْ, take the rites of Hajj from me. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that person, we know that the reward and blessings for the person who makes Hajj is that Allah Azza wa Jal will completely and entirely forgive them their sins, and they are as a newborn baby, and the reward for them will be nothing less than paradise itself. But the person who has other priorities, or maybe has a blending in of benefits, they say, you know what, I'm older now, and culturally when you become of this age, and I'm kind of retired, or I am retired, and you're supposed to make Hajj now, and at the same time, I can be called a Hajji and XYZ of all of these other different things. Allah Azza wa Jal, He may give you whatever those worldly benefits are. But Allah Azza wa Jal does not accept competition, because there is no competition with Him Subhanahu. The final advice that He was given Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was, know that the believers' honor and their respect, their dignity, it's found in them offering the night prayer. And I pray that Allah Azza wa Jal can bless us all to make sure that we have our priorities of the 5 daily prayers locked down, as well as the Jumu'ah Salah clearly established, and that He Jalla wa Ala bless us then to also focus on what there are of the Sunan al-Ratibah, those Sunan of the Prophet ﷺ that were well established, such that we can then also pay attention to Tahajjud or Qiyam al-Layl, the night prayers. When you think about the night prayers, brothers and sisters, in the same way that with regards to the Hajj, it is something that should be done sincerely for Allah and Allah Azza wa Jal alone, and it is added that conviction and faith that the believer has in their heart, that they are eager to stand before Allah Azza wa Jal, and they are eager to worship and serve Him Subhanahu. And they are so eager to have that quality time with Him Jalla wa Ala without anybody else having to see or to know. And believe it or not, that's one of the unique paradoxes of Hajj, is that even though you're in an ocean of millions, because the likelihood of you seeing somebody that knows you or you knowing them are very low, it can still be a very personal experience in worship. And the last thing that He mentions is that the strength of the believer is then being independent of the people. Meaning the less that we have to depend on others, the better off we're going to be. Because believe it or not, brothers and sisters, even if it's the closest of family, if and when you are the lower hand, the receiving hand, the hand that is asking, the hand that is begging, the hand that is weak, people get tired of helping. People get tired of coming to your aid. People get tired to the point of even hearing your voice. But Allah Rabbul Alameen, who is Al-Ahad, the one and only, the unique, He is so beautiful, Subhanahu, that no matter how many times you call upon Him, He never becomes tired of you, fed up with you. Rather the opposite. the more that you can show your dependency upon Him, and the less that you become dependent on the people, the greater you become with Allah Azza wa Jal, and the better off that you are in this life and in the next. And that's the first lesson that I hope and pray Allah Azza wa Jal will bless us, and will bless every believer who is performing the pilgrimage to understand and to actualize in our lives. إِنَّهُ وَلِيُّ ذَلِكَ وَالْقَادِرُ عَلَيْهِ. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وآله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا وما بعد. If we can once again try to make space for the brothers that are standing outside the doorway, please, inshallah. And some of these chairs that aren't being used, if maybe some of the other brothers can somehow with the other sides there, inshallah, fill in, please, inshallah. Ahibbati, that first topic may be sad for some people because whenever we think of death, it kind of causes life to become bland. The seasoning of life, it's as though you can no longer smell it, taste it, enjoy it. And it's okay because we need to be reminded of death every now and then so that our priorities are straight. But the second lesson, and it is tied in with the first, and it helps to balance it. The second lesson is also an important one, and it is certainty with Allah Rabbul Alameen. Jama'ah, we live in a day and age where we take for granted technology. We take for granted that we're able to watch live streaming of Hajj from the comfort of our cars, our homes, our workspaces, on our phones, our tablets, our smart TVs and computers. And we're able to see what we may have heard about or read about with regards to Mecca and Mina and Muzdalifah and Arafah and what happens and when and where in the masjid itself and the Kaaba and then Medina to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We take this for granted. Before this technology was there, people only heard. And then they trusted those who communicated that there is a place called Mecca, and this is a description or these are descriptions of it. And the people who came back, that they really did go. That they didn't go around the corner, hang out for some time and, come back and say yes. And they just repeat stuff that they had heard. Let's be honest. Many of us today, we have not been to many of the places that we see in pictures and things of that sort, yet we believe. We have not been to outer space within that international space station or otherwise, yet whatever those images are that are being shown to us of the earth and of the moon and of the solar system and out there in the galaxy, we believe. Well, part of what we're supposed to believe and have certainty with regards to Allah Azza wa Jal, as we leave behind our regular lives and of what we know to be home and we move towards point B, that destination, is to have certainty that there is a hereafter. And that's one of the strangest of ironies today. That people will believe all of these different locations on earth that they have never been to. They will believe that yes, that is Anchorage, Alaska. Yes, that is Karachi, Pakistan. Yes, that is Washington, D.C. Yes, that is Mexico City, Mexico. Even though they haven't been there. But yet when it comes to the life hereafter, folks will be doubtful. Even Muslims. Well, they say, yeah, but really? And then you'll have some folks that'll say, well, there's nothing that's really so convincing. Especially of non-Muslims. And those who will go to the furthest extreme as atheists and just flat out say, no, there's nothing. Subhanallah. Allahu Rabbul Alameen, He tells us in so many places throughout the Quran, and here are just two. And they are both in Surah An-Nisa. And this one here is the 87th ayah. Allah Azza wa Jal says, Allahu la ilaha illahu لَيَجْمَعَنَّكُمْ إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ وَمَنْ أَصْدَقُ مِنَ اللَّهِ حَدِيثًا. Allah, there is no other deity except for Him. There is no other deity besides Him or in addition to Him. He will surely assemble you for accountability on the day of resurrection, about which there is no doubt. No doubt with who? With the atheist, with the agnostic, with the person who's weak in their faith? No doubt with regards to Allah Azza wa Jal. When Allah Azza wa Jal doesn't doubt something, regardless of what humanity doubts, there will come a point in time when Allah's certainty will become a certainty for us. And He ends in telling us that who is more truthful than Allah in His statements. As believers, we should be certain Allah is the most truthful. Everything of what He tells us, Tabarak wa Ta'ala, is fact. There is no doubt about it. And then He says, Subhana, in the 122nd ayah, in the same chapter, He says, Tabarak wa Ta'ala, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ سندخلهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا وعد الله حقا ومن أصدق من الله قيلا. But the ones who believe and do righteous deeds, live righteously, we will admit them to gardens beneath which rivers flow. Therein they will abide forever. It is the promise of Allah Azza wa Jal, which is the truth. And who is more truthful than Allah and what He says? Subhanallah. When we have folks coming back from Hajj today and they're able to take selfies and pictures and post it online and stuff, we have no doubt that they were there. Well, Allah Azza wa Jal tells us through how many a prophet in the Quran, and others through the Quran, that Allah's promise of the life hereafter, it is real, it is the truth. And they are all bearing witness to what Allah Rabbul Alameen Himself has declared. So if that's the case, it means that there should be nothing of doubt left in our hearts. There should be nothing but certainty in everything of our hearts and souls and our minds, that the journey to Allah Azza wa Jal is real. And if that's the case, brothers and sisters, in the same way that the pilgrims, that they prepare themselves for that journey because they want to get there safely and they want to be able to successfully accomplish their mission while they're there so that they can have the full reward, well, that is also true for us. We want to make sure that as we go back to Allah Rabbul Alameen, we have been prepared. And preparation for there is the here and now. So that when we stand before Him Jalla wa Ala, we will be from those whom He will forgive and grant mercy, whom our scale of good deeds will outweigh anything of sins, that our faces will be illuminated. We will receive our books in our right hands, that we will be from those who will be saved and told, enter into paradise, you have nothing to fear, nothing to regret. And I pray that Allah bless us all to be from those that benefit from both of these lessons. Allahumma ameen. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad. كما صليت على